Good morning, everybody. I made this yam porridge like 2 days ago and it was really good. So everybody's been asking that I do a tutorial about it. So here I am. This morning I'm gonna be making enough for more people. The last time I made it, which was 2 days ago, I only made enough for the house. So a lot of people want some. The kids have been like really talking about it. My husband really likes it. He wants more. So I'm gonna be making more. The one I made on Tuesday, I used 1 tuber of yam. Today I'm gonna be using 3. And I'm also gonna be adding sweet potatoes, just 4 small sized sweet potatoes. The first thing I do is get ready by prepping 1 pot of cold water so that when I cut my yam, I can throw it right into the water. The reason why I do that is so that it doesn't change color, you know. And so here I am. I have a cutting board, and I have my. Now be careful with the yam. You only want to touch this yam with your 2 hands. And once you touch the yam, you don't want to touch any part of your body. Don't like scratch your nose because it gets itchy. So just be careful with that. So I'm not going to use the bottom part that I cut and toss. The bottom parts, I cut it up and I toss it. The reason why I don't use this part is because it kind of tastes bitter, so I don't use it. Okay, so once that's done, I cut up the yam. I cut them in 4s, so that way it doesn't take me a long time to get into the water. So now I have 4. I'm going to set this aside. And I will peel off the skin. I think I'm going to use a smaller knife so I can get a better grip. So the yam's pretty nice. It's pretty good. I'm going to cut off the skin. To the water, and I'm gonna do that for the rest of the yam that I have here. I will pause this video. Once I return, I'll show you what the result is. You can see I have peeled the yam. I didn't end up using all of the yam. I saved this much yam, and the reason why I did that is because I'm not sure that I'll have a big enough pot to cook all of it once everything's cut up. So I kind of saved this. And you see that I have these little pieces. Sometimes you will run into some yam that's almost going bad. So the bad pieces, I cut them aside and I put them here. And I'm just gonna throw them in the trash. So now I will go ahead and peel the potatoes and add the potatoes into it. So, potatoes fairly easy to peel. And once I'm done peeling, I will put that in there with the yam. I will wash it thoroughly. I find that when my yam is not thoroughly washed, it makes my tongue itchy for some reason. I wash it real thoroughly. I will also I'm actually going to work today, believe it or not. So I'm hoping 2 hours is enough to get this meal ready. So I ran into a little problem here. A little crisp. That's not a big deal. I just cut it and then go back with my potato peeler. Throw it in the water just like that. Throw it in the water. And then peel the rest of the potatoes. So I'm gonna go ahead and peel the potatoes and be back shortly. Thank you. Okay, I'm back. The potatoes are washed, but they're still sitting in water, in clean water. This is the amount of water I'm gonna be using. to cook the potato. If I need to add more water, to cook the yam, if I need to add more water, I will, but I kind of doubt it. I'm gonna be using some salt, and this is optional. I'm gonna be using some sugar. It's optional. If you don't want the sugar, you don't have to add it. So, first thing I will do is, though the potato is in clean water, before I grab it out of the water, I'm going to give it one more rinse. Pick it up and my knife. And what I do is I dice the potatoes in big chunks. Some people like their yam porridge creamy. I like mine half and half. I like it a little creamy, and I like to have some crunch for texture. So it's discretion, however you like it. If you like it creamy, you could cut up your potato dices smaller than I did mine. So as I'm cutting them, I'm going to be throwing them into the water. And I told you earlier, the reason why I get them into water right away is because I don't want them to turn color. Now, it turns color doesn't mean that it's going bad. I just don't like, I'm gonna be throwing this in the trash. I just don't really like when it turns color. I don't like the way it looks. So I'm very picky about my food. So the same thing. I will cut the sweet potatoes smaller because I don't want the chunks of sweet potatoes in there. The sweet potato is actually part of my seasoning, so I want this to be creamy. So I will cut them smaller. Khalil, are you calling me? Khalil, are you calling me? Oh, I thought you were calling me. Okay, so we continue to do this process until everything in the pot is cut up. So, oh, I ended up cutting this smaller. I think I was carrying over the process from the potatoes, from the sweet potatoes. Now my yams are chunky and my sweet potatoes are smaller. So I go through this process until I'm done. Once I'm done, I'll show you the end result, and we'll season, and then we'll get it on the stove. Okay, I'm back. If you're wondering what kind of salt I use, this is the salt that I use. It's a Diamond Crystal Pure Natural Kosher salt. That's the salt that I use. Just in case you're wondering, somebody had asked me in one of my videos for what salt I use, and I have measured in here 3 tablespoons of sugar and 1 tablespoon of salt. And I'm kind of glad that I didn't put all the potatoes, because it'd just be overwhelming. All the yam, it would just be overwhelming, and I wouldn't have a pot big enough to cook it. So I don't know, for some reason I feel like washing this yam one more time. So I will give it one more wash, because it's been sitting in the water for a while. So something just tells me to wash it, no particular reason. So I'm gonna wash it. This is everything all cut up. This is what it looks like. See how that water's cloudy? I don't know, that just doesn't sit well with me. The more starch I can get rid of, the better. This yam, rich in estrogens. If you know me very well, you know that I need my estrogens. I recently had a hysterectomy, so estrogen is just one hormone that I lack right now. So the more yam I can eat, the better. Alhamdulillah. Okay, so the water's gone. Yeah, look at that. Imagine cooking that. That's why I don't really like potlucks, because you don't know how people cook. You don't, I don't, the only cooking I really trust, honestly, is my mom's cooking. A few other people, but mostly my mom. My mom, she's anal when it comes to cooking. I trust my mom when she cooks. That's okay. Maybe I can get away with using this pot. What do you think? Habib, what do you think? Or should I put it in here? Should I put it in here? Okay, Habib said to put it in the big pot. It's going in the big pot. See, that's how I like the water. And I'm going to remove some of the water. I know. Now that I have it in the big pot, I can see how much water I have. I don't want that much water. Okay, so I'm gonna remove some more water. I don't want my yam porridge watery. Because you know I'm still gonna blend some pepper and put it in there. So that's that. I will take my 1 tablespoon of salt and I will sprinkle it all over it. Now once the sugar goes in, I'm not touching it because the sugar gets sticky. So while the salt is in there, I'm gonna give it a good stir. Gonna mix really good. Rinse my hands. And now I'm going to add the sugar. 3 tablespoons of sugar. I don't need more than that because I have sweet potatoes in there. So, ooh, I think I'm putting too much sugar.
Yeah, because I've seen that.
Yeah. Okay, so this is it. It's going on the stove. I will let it boil for about 10 to 15 minutes and we'll be back. Hello everybody, I'm back. And this is what my yam looks like after I have boiled it. As you can tell, once I boil it, I let the water sit. And it's actually starting to porridge. You see that? That's just from putting water in here and boiling. That's what I get. Just from doing that. I haven't actually started the process of, adding the peppers and all that. So that's what it looks like right now. So right now I'm gonna let it continue to sit there. And I will boil the peppers and start the mix for the yam porridge. This should be ready in about 30 minutes. Okay, so to get the peppers ready, I have in here some onions, some habanero peppers, 2 tomatoes, plum tomatoes about this size. It's Selena here. Oh my goodness. This size. And I have red bell peppers, 3 red bell peppers. So my secret ingredient for this is ginger and garlic. If you really like ginger and garlic and you haven't tried it in your yam porridge, you're missing out. So how much am I putting in that much yam porridge? There's really no set measurement. I get the biggest piece of the clove and I believe that should be enough. And if I feel like adding more, I just might. So that's what I have. I will go ahead and add that to the blender. And for the ginger, I will use, again, I'm eyeballing. I use about that much. All the excess pieces that I have laying around that I don't want to go to waste. I've used it for something else before, so this is what I have left over. And from this piece right here, I will be using about, I'm gonna use a little more. I'm gonna be using about this much more. this much ginger and that much garlic. That's what I'll be using. How did I come up with that measurement? That's just how much I love using garlic and ginger. So I've used it before. I know what it tastes like. I know. So that's how I'm able to make that determination. How much would you use? For starters, you can use less than that. You can probably just use this much for starters. And once you find that you like it, the next time you make yam porridge, you know, you can add it accordingly. Most of it is gonna get cut off anyway from trying to peel the, as you see, I'm in a rush now. I'm dressed for work. I have to be at work at 12:30. So once I get this on the stove, my daughter will finish it off. And when I come back from work, I'll have my share. So cutting this up. Be careful with the knife. Can you see from the motion of my hands that I am now in a rush for work? If you have a little bit of the peel, and this is really good to cook with. These are antioxidants. They're very good for you. So like I said, if you really like garlic and ginger and you haven't tried it in your yam porridge, you're missing out. So that's done. Put that in there. I'm not really gonna add much water. This is how much water I put in there. I'm not, less than a cup of water. I'm not adding water because like I said, I don't want my porridge to be too watery. So I will go ahead and kickstart the blender. I have here half a cup of canola oil. I prefer to use vegetable oil, but because I don't have vegetable oil handy, I will be using half a cup of canola oil. So the first thing that goes in here is the canola oil. I have the stove on right now. It's set to medium. The canola oil is in there. I'm gonna give it a minute to warm up with the yam. So you can see what I wanted to do with my sweet potatoes. I wanted the sweet potatoes to really get mushy. Now, once my canola oil has been in there for about a minute or so, I will now be adding some palm oil. And for the palm oil, I will be using 1 cup of palm oil. 1 cup. 1 cup of palm oil. I like to buy the palm oil, the one that's in the jar, because I can just stick my measuring cup right into it. I give it a good mix. Actually, that mix wasn't good enough. Let me mix it just one more time. And I have to be careful so I don't get my uniform, so I don't get my clothes dirty. So I will go in here and measure out 1 cup of palm oil. Make sure your cup is clean before you stick it in the oil. So I will put that in there as well. And once the cup of palm oil is in there, I will cover up the pot and let it get, not bleached, but let it get really like melted down and cooked in with the yam. And then I'll add my peppers, a little bit of water, and this is how much pepper I have. but I doubt I'll be using all this. I plan on cooking jollof rice later on when I come home from work, so I'll save the rest of this pepper for my jollof rice. But yeah, this is what I want to happen. See? You see how the oil is melting down? That's what I want to happen. And I need it to happen faster. So I will close this pot and let it sit for another maybe 2 to 3 minutes. Now to check on my porridge. Take this cover off. This is what it looks like right now. I have the yam boiling. I will go ahead and add my pepper right now in this blender. I have about, can I see? Let's see, I can't read the measurement. I have about 4 cups of pepper, and I will be using half of that. I have whipped out my omorogun. Some of you know this as a jiffy stick. This is to the Yorubas, omorogun, orogun, or some people say orogun. So I have that with me here. I haven't added any more seasoning besides what I initially added. You might want to put some crayfish in there, some prawns in there, stockfish, which is banla, some shawa, dried up bony fish, or you might even want to add in there, what else can you add in there? Fried up Titus fish, mackerel. I won't be doing any of that today because we have a seafood allergy in our household. I feel my pot, kind of like the yam is sticking to the bottom. So at that junction, I will turn down the heat. Right now it's on 7. I will bring it down to about a 5.5, 6. I thought I would need to add water to it. That's why I set this cup of water here. But as it looks, I don't need to add any water. So I want it to make its own flavor. What I'm doing right now is mashing some of the potatoes. I have too many chunks. I want more porridge. So I need it to be about 50-50 combination. So I'm mashing up some of the yam. And I also wanted to make its own flavor. So what I'll do is I will not add any seasonings right now. I will just cover it up and let the pepper mix in very well with the yam. And then I'll come back and taste it. And if I need to add salt or some Maggi, you know, because I don't really know what the ginger and the garlic will do to it right now, how much flavor it'll give it. So I don't want to ruin that with adding my cooking stock, like my chicken stock or Maggi cubes or stuff like that. So I will just close it, let it cook for another, I don't know, 10 minutes, come back and check on it. Add my seasoning. Once my seasoning is added, cook for another 10 minutes and it'll be ready to serve. I might not be here for that because I do have to head out to work, and I'll just leave this to Salima to finish it, or Habib can finish it off, right? Habib, what do you think? Habib is my cameraman. He's been very supportive and cooperative, and I think he actually learned, believe it or not, how to make yam porridge throughout this process. Habib, did you learn anything?
Yes.
So if I ask you to cook this someday, you'll be able to do it?
Yeah.
You sure? Okay. That's awesome. So you see that? There's nothing more to it. And if I didn't do this, what I'm about to do right now, I wouldn't be a true Nigerian. So forgive me if you're not Nigerian. Oh, Oh, that is so good. Cover it up for 10 minutes and come back for it.
So this is the last stage of the asado. You know, it's very, you see how it is? Very funny morals. What else can you get? Look at it. Ooh. Ooh. Money can't buy this one. You try to pay for it, you're gonna have to pay a whole lot of money. This is another level of asaro. You've never seen this kind of asaro before. Very nice, and you know. So there you go. That's it. That's all you have. That's how you make a real typical asaro. Not those kind of asaro that people be making around, you know. You can't eat them. This one, you're gonna have to lick it. Bye. See you later. Thank you.